A life on the ocean wave in the Royal Navy is a life of self-sufficiency. You can't nip to the shops or go out for a change of scene if you're on board a ship. Likewise, in an emergency, if there's a fire, for example, there's nowhere to run. You have to face the problem and deal with it quickly, which is why realistic training is vital. Rajesh Merchandani assesses the latest fire training ship.
It's one of the greatest dangers on board a ship, fire, as Warrant Officer Nick Aldridge knows only too well.
Fire on board a ship means that you've got nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, you've got to do something about it. Otherwise, you're going to lose the ship and possibly life.
But this is exactly what Nick faced on board HMS Illustrious on the 3rd of April 1986, when, just after midnight, the gearbox exploded, turning the machinery room into a fireball 4 stories high.
When the alarm sounded, initially I felt a sense of panic. A fire in a machinery compartment is one of the worst places on board a ship to have a fire because of the sheer size of it. When we first entered the machinery room, the initial shock from the heat, the thick acrid smoke that hit us, we knew that we were heading into something pretty horrific.
He didn't realise it at the time, but he was about to be caught up in the biggest ship fire ever to hit the Navy during peacetime. Nick and his team battled for nearly 3 hours before they finally got the flames under control.
I always think and cast my mind back on that day how lucky we actually were.
Countless lives have been lost to fires at sea, and it's a threat the Navy takes extremely seriously. That's why it's trying out a revolutionary new training system. What this is the latest technology that the Navy's using to prepare its new recruits for the worst. It's the largest high-tech facility in the UK for fighting ship fires, and the company that runs it has just opened it for use. So it's the perfect opportunity to put the unit through its paces. With the help of Nick Aldridge and a little bit of training, I'm going to step into one of its fires.
Ignition.
Nick, let's go for it. It's dark and cramped. I feel claustrophobic, almost trapped, just like I'm on a ship. All I have to do is keep the hose steady and aim it above the flames, but with almost 3 litres of water pumping out every second, it's got a life of its own. For a brief moment, I lose my grip. Suddenly, the gas fueling the fire is turned up and pink propane flames shoot out. It's a real battle to put the flames out, but 5 minutes later, I've done it. That was quite scary. I could just feel myself getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I was thinking, what's now? How did I do?
Very well, very well. For a first time, very well.
It certainly passed the reality test. In fact, if anything, it felt far too real, and that's exactly what this system has been designed to make you feel. This is the control hub. With a click of a mouse, this computer can get fires going in all the rooms on board the ship. It can recreate different types of fire, from waste bins burning to bunk beds going up in flames, right up to a raging inferno in the machinery room. The Navy used to train their recruits by igniting diesel underneath piles of wood. By contrast, this system uses gas pumped through these pipes. The computer operator can separately add smoke from oil burning inside these grey boxes. The idea is that because the teachers have complete control over the flames and the smoke, the students can be trained more thoroughly and more quickly. That's the theory. Let's see whether it works in practice. Now we're going to put this new fire training unit to the ultimate test. These Navy recruits have had about 1 day's training. They're about to face what could be the worst type of fire on board a ship. That's a fire in the machinery room. It's going to be a lot like the fiery inferno Nick encountered on board HMS Illustrious. So who better than him to lead this group of students? What are the kind of dangers of this type of fire?
Extremely hot metal inside. It's going to be dense, thick smoke in there, so the visibility is going to be nil.
The only way into the machinery room is through this hatch. By spraying water from above, they prevent the flames from escaping and protect the firemen as they go in. The first thing the students do when they get down there is create a wall of water. This shields them from the heat, which can reach up to 300 Celsius. When everyone's in place, they shoot a jet of watery foam directly above the flames. Within 30 seconds, it's out. The whole exercise has taken 10 uncomfortable minutes, but that's no time at all when what they've learnt could one day save their lives. How much better is this system, do you think, than the old way?
Well, it's far better because we can control it. If something isn't going right, we can stop it and restart the exercise from that point. So the training is absolutely superb.
So if they'd been in your shoes on HMS Illustrious all those years ago, how would they have coped then?
I think today they'd have won the day, definitely.
The challenge in the future is to train up civilian operators like ferry companies to use this system, making it safer for the rest of us to go to sea.
Well, the training ship is already in use, and the company that runs it aims to train 10,000 Navy crew this year alone.